And there it is, folks. The end. As all great things have to come to a close, I think it's only fair that this not a series meets its end. Perhaps maybe not definitively, but at least in a sense for my own closure. Almost as though I'm closing a door behind me from a very long passageway. Felt like I lived in a very liminal phase for a very long time. And I feel like I'm a new person. And I appreciate the fact that the mirror allowed me the time and space to understand my technology and tap into my own inner thoughts, insecurities, and curiosities. I've genuinely learned a lot being here. So many conversations that I want to bring forth now, recognizing myself as a thought leader. Moving with such validity. I feel like there's a knowing in my life that is now present and prevalent more than ever. I've successfully managed to go from canned pain into campaign. I'm doing this right now. I've done this with music. And I'm doing this with Stagnot. I have big plans for this agency, this publication. I have big plans for the people associated on a corporate level, on a creative level, for the many artists that I work with, for the audience that is keen to listen, to lend me an ear. I don't take that for granted because it is a blessing to have an audience. I think even that anointing of itself is such an underplayed thing in society. We take it for granted, the chair we've been given. And so I want to hold mine and honor my crown and make sure that I do bear the responsibility of sitting on the throne. I am a thought leader. I'm a leader in many things. And I'm learning to be comfortable with that. So interesting today, there was an exercise, just wrapping up an end-year workshop. And we were asked to tell 2 truths and a lie. The lie was, I'm from Botswana. Semantically, perhaps, Botswana was Mafikeng as a governing city over Botswana. So, ke Botswana, ke tlhaga ko Mahikeng. My full name, ke Phemelo Moipolai. And my nom de guerre is Sui. My artist name is some unique individual, for those that don't know. But alas, that was the lie. Botswana. The first truth was I'm a qualified sound engineer. Actually, I was tussling on whether to mention the fact that, I've done this, I've done that. I was like, you know what? Good sound engineer. It's an actual truth. I have the paperwork. And the second truth was something that felt like a far distant memory. I actually tried to Google myself today, just to find out if I still exist under the Springbok page. As the truth was, professional, which is provincial rugby player. I used to play for the Late Bats in the Northwest. Um, and yeah, and it's so interesting that although I couldn't find that on the internet, it's real. It's my life. That did happen. At some point, I was a really good rugby player. At some point, I did play against Sia Kulisi. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's things like that that make you realize that perhaps a lot of it was already written for you. Also, another conversation we had as far as the misses and the swings that one must go through, or the idea that repetition is a teacher in itself, and that perhaps us missing these nodes and our inability to break these cycles and these loops is perhaps us strengthening self to have a more affirmed and discerned stance within our personal agreements. Not to be shaken, not to be moved by a moving trend, people's opinion, not to lean against the understanding of man. Needless to say, I have a lot of plans for Stagnot. I have a lot of plans for 2025, and I had to bring it here to test me personally, because I'd lost something. I lost my conviction. I stopped trusting in my ability to create, to set trends, to be, to do, to have, to become every single thing that I've ever imagined, to speak life into existence and see it unfold. I think there came a time where I became brittle due to circumstances and due to happenings, which I reflect back and look and say, hey, that was a good thing. Because now you know that you don't like that. Now you know that's not you. And I've matured from this whole entire process. I would have never thought this would be my life today. The amount of hats I wear in a day are insane. The vastness that I carry today in comparison to tomorrow. Tomorrow, it's going to be more, but in comparison to yesterday, often puts me at all. And I'm learning to be okay with the forever story. I'm learning to be okay with winning. I'm learning to be okay with being a martyr, being an example. I don't think we choose all of this. Definitely believe a lot of it was preordained, if anything. It all is. And so I humbly accept my responsibility in the big play and put my heart on my sleeve and just like live it out with zero regret. I mean, there's a couple of things I might regret. um, but it's my truth, man. Just to really wear that bear, to create more. And this was an exercise. Definitely successful. It pushed me. I started caring about something. I think I got so lost in having to create for the audience for so long that I felt edgy in the approach of creating anew, creating afresh. It stopped becoming fun. I lost myself in the overtly curated sequences, the colors, the palettes, the brand image, the fonts. As dedicated as I am to all of that today, I think I made that the creation. And I forgot that the spirit man, you know, the child within is the reason why I'm here. You know, going to all those auditions that didn't end with a thumbs up, but that rejection allowed me to a completely different notion of time and space and understanding. Went from being a television presenter to creating music, and how I went from making music to radio DJ to lecture, and so forth and so forth. And it's like, how can you even call this a campaign? You know, we're not trying to claim this thing. It's us. We are it. And it's beautiful. And as far as these conversations are concerned, I'm grateful to those that have listened. I hope they were nuggets. I hope the mirror allows you to find something within yourself. I hope you listen to the inner voice. I hope you speak life into every single waking breath that you carry. It's important. And I feel like I found a friend in these little moments of solitude and stillness. I think it's something I lost in my quest for fortune, my quest for validity, strive for being the absolute best. I tried, but we did well. But the beautiful thing is, we're gonna do better. And yeah, it's not a campaign, it's my life. So Stagnot, my friends. Stagnot.